What's up, everyone, and welcome to Tasty Squad. My name is John, and today I'll be introducing a new Tasty Squad segment to you, a segment we like to call Food for Thought. Now, unlike most of the stuff you've seen already on Tasty Squad, comedy is not going to be the front man here. It's taking a back seat as we really try to get analytical discussing topics in gaming. Each video will have its own topic, and today's topic is the new God of War. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. Now, the E3 reveal of God of War, or God of War Norse as it's being dubbed by some fans, was probably the biggest thing that came out of the Sony press conference, and it blew people away. However, it left the fandom of God of War, I would say, in a 50-50 state. Half the fans being excited as all hell that God of War is returning and on PS4. Other half, still hopefully excited, but a little bit afraid of what they've seen, like maybe things have changed too much. And I'm really going to sit here and try to analyze both sides of this coin and let people know why people are thinking what they're thinking, maybe put a few minds at ease, maybe even open the eyes to some had not known some information before. So let's get right into it. First of all, the new God of War is not a reboot. I have heard that from a couple people thinking that such drastic change automatically means God of War is a reboot. It's not. It has been confirmed by Santa Monica that the new God of War is a continuation after God of War 3. So this is the same Kratos we've been playing as for years. Now that leads into the new style. It's Norse now, it's not Greek, and some people are excited about that, others are a little on the fence. The people that are excited, of course, because of the possibilities with a whole new set of mythology. New gods, new locations, new monsters, new weapons, new heroes, new villains. Just the possibilities are endless, and Santa Monica has a complete ocean of content to develop with this. I, for one, am excited for the new style, as about half of the fandom is. The other half, I don't think they have a problem with the fact that it is a new mythology. I think they have a fact with making sense with it. Now, they're saying things like, well, how can this be set in Norse mythology? Kratos has always been in Greece. He's always been battling the Greek gods and Greek monsters and figures. Well, I'm here to say that there are several works of fiction where these mythologies intermingle quite often. The ones that come to my head immediately are the books by Rick Riordan. And Rick Riordan is the author of Percy Jackson, also the Kane Chronicles, Heroes of Olympus, and Magnus Chase. All of these series that involve different mythologies that coexist in the same world. It's basically each set of gods rules its own domain, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work similarly to that in the new God of War. Now, some of the fans, they're trying to make sense of it all, and I understand that. I want to make sense of it too. Unfortunately, all we can do is just talk about it. We won't know anything till we play the game. But my speculation is this. The new God of War will feature Norse heroes and mythology, and it coexisted with the Greek world. Now, how it works in Riordan's novels is each of these gods rules their own thing. And I think it's going to work similarly to that in the new God of War, seeing as how Kratos is in a new land now, new lands ruled by new gods. You could argue that, well, the whole world was destroyed when, after the events of God of War 3. We don't know that. That could have just been Greece. We don't know. It never completely said. And also, who knows what happened with all that hope that Kratos released at the end of God of War 3? That could have restored the world and brought about new gods. We just don't know. But if I was a guessing man, I'd say it's going to work how it works in Rick Riordan's novels. And I hope that puts some people's mind to ease. The fact, there has been stories where these things intermingled before. And another big question about that is, well, why didn't the Norse gods come help the Greek gods defeat Kratos if he was giving some trouble? And it's simply probably because that wasn't their problem. They didn't give a shit. Moving on to the big one. This is the big dividing factor among most fans, myself included, but I will try to remain impartial till the end of the video and let you know my thoughts. Now, the cinematic approach to the storytelling. A lot of fans are excited about this. It's a more serious, mature tone to God of War, which is nice to see because a lot of the fans grew up playing the games are now serious, mature adults and they want to be treated as such. However, some on the differing side of this argument are upset. I don't think they're so upset with the fact that it's mature or serious or cinematic. I think they're upset because it feels like other things. Now, I'm not giving an opinion yet. I will say this one thing. I, myself, and a few other people that I actually know in real life and talk to have said when they first saw the trailer, they immediately thought of Horizon Zero Dawn. And again, I thought the exact same thing from first glance. And I've done some research, and it seems like a lot of other people are thinking this. They're upset because God of War is not feeling like God of War, but it's feeling like other things. And that's an understandable thing to be upset about, because this is a series we've loved for years now. We don't want it to feel like other things, we want it to feel like God of War. Yeah, sure, let it grow, let it mature, but quit trying to be something you're not. Grow God of War, mature God of War. Don't try to become a different game just because that's what's popular right now. Be you, Santa Monica, be you. Another game that people are relating it to is The Last of Us, and that makes a lot of sense. The son and Kratos relationship feels a lot like the Joel and Ellie relationship, a lot of give and take, a lot of learning, a lot of earning trust, and it's definitely there, it's definitely present. Now, I think that pisses off people for a completely different reason. Not so much the fact that, again, God of War is getting serious, or the fact that it's, trying to be more cinematic with its storytelling, because that's fine. I think it's the fact that everyone is trying to be The Last of Us right now. That's the thing in gaming. Ever since 2013, when The Last of Us probably is the game of the decade, I don't know, it's too early to say, but the fact is, Last of Us changed a lot of things in gaming, and one of those things was how people tell stories. Since that game came out, people have tried to copy its storytelling style. Maybe not so much copy as borrow from, but there's no denying that the story style of Last of Us has been seen in other games, and its influence has spread all throughout gaming since its release. And people are upset about that. They don't want to see The Last of Us over and over and over again. And that's a legitimate thing to be upset about. Afraid of playing as the son. I haven't heard from the positive side of this argument about playing as the son, but from the negative side, people are afraid of playing as the son. Let me put those worries to ease, everyone. Santa Monica has confirmed that you will play as Kratos 100% of the time in the game. No worries, it's not going to be one of those things where you play as the main, or like the dad character in the prologue, like in Assassin's Creed 3, where you play as Hatham and then you take control of Connor later. No, you're going to be Kratos the whole time. So if that's what's turning you off to this, or putting you on edge, put that worry to ease and let's get on with it. Now, the new style is different and this cinematic approach, but one good thing, the one thing remains very God of War, and that's the return of Cory Barlog as the director of this new God of War. And for those of you who don't know who Cory Barlog is, Cory Barlog was the art director of the original God of War. He was the game director of God of War 2. He was the game director of God of War 3 for its first 10 months in development. He helped write each one of the games. This man is the lifeblood of God of War. He helped write Ghost of Sparta as well. I think he wrote most of it, and that's debatably one of the best amongst fans. So, this guy knows his stuff when it comes to God of War. The only one he never really had a part in was Ascension, and we all know that's the worst one in the series, so him being back gives me a little bit of hope. Now, people are upset because there's so many new changes and everything. In several interviews since that E3 trailer, Cory Barlog has said, why they chose to show that footage as opposed to other footage of the game they have. And to simply put it, he said, We wanted to show people what we're doing new with God of War rather than showing them what's the same. Basically saying, hey, people should expect this from God of War, and they should expect the brutality and the violence and things like that. So basically what he's saying is, hey, calm down. It's still going to have all that stuff you know and love, but we wanted to show you the things we're adding to it. So I think that can put a lot of people's minds at ease, and that can really help people not be so on edge about it. So with that being said, here are some things I have to say about it personally. One, I love the series God of War. I have since I was 12 years old. I've loved it for the past 10 years. I've played the games through and through and through. I literally just beat God of War 3 for like the 7th time tonight. I started playing Ascension again. I don't know why. I just had the hunch for it. But the point is, I love the series. And I think if they can keep these 4 things in the game, then God of War will not lose its identity and things will be just right. 1. Angry Kratos. Again, I know they're going for that new, mature Kratos who doesn't let the anger get better of him. And I'm not asking for the whole game. I'm not even asking for most of the game. I'm just asking for maybe a 10-15 minute portion of the game. Let Kratos be angry. Let him show that side of him that we've all come to know and love. And please, please, let it be good. Because I want to be angry Kratos ripping some Norse monsters apart. 2. The brutality and the gore. Now I know I just stated that thing that Cory Barlog says, like, hey, don't worry, this is going to be here. But from that trailer, that was one of the things that I didn't notice that got me on edge, besides, the cinematic Last of Us Horizon Dawn feel, was it didn't seem brutal and it didn't seem gory. When Kratos killed those monsters in the trailer, they just kind of turned to orangeness. They didn't really have any blood or guts or anything like that. And I know it sounds fucked up and probably disturbing, but people that play these kind of games like to see that shit. That's why we play God of War. That's why we play Mortal Kombat. So please, Santa Monica, keep the gore in there. Keep the messy, bloody, gory mess of ripping creatures apart in there. 3. And I can't stress this one enough. Amazing boss fights. God of War is a series that is known for having fantastic boss fights. Some of my absolute favorite ones in all of gaming ever. But for some reason there has been this whole thing where games that were on last gen that carry over to next gen for some reason have lacked the boss fights, and I can't figure that out. The biggest one coming to my mind right now is Batman Arkham Knight. There was no boss fights in that game, at all, which is weird to say because all the other Arkham games, even the Black Sheep one, Arkham Origins, had boss fights throughout them. And of all of them to need a boss fight, Knight was the one. I mean, the damn antagonist's name was of the title of the game, and you never had a boss fight with him. So please, Santa Monica, please let there be amazing boss fights in your game. And I don't mean just a boss fight, period. I mean good ones. Ones that made God of War boss fights, God of War boss fights. Give us those Zeus level boss fights. Give us those Ares level boss fights. Give us those Hercules. Just please have those. Those are one of the things I absolutely need to see in a God of War game for it to feel good to me. And 4, please let combat still be simplistic but amazingly fun and flow very well. I know it's going to feel a little bit different since the main weapon is now different, and that's okay, but please let it be easy to combo. Let it flow great. Let me feel like I can take on a whole room of enemies by myself, but still be a powerhouse badass that is the Ghost of Sparta Kratos. And that's how I feel. That's the 4 things that I would like to see, that I need to see in this God of War for it to feel okay to me. I hope I did a good job of trying to explain both sides of the argument. This new series, we really want to get in depth with discussion and really analyze things and just, be the overthinkers that we are, but instead of just in our head, here in these videos. So please, if you like this, hit that thumbs up, give us a subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone who you might think is interested. Follow us on Twitter at @SquadTasty. Follow us on Facebook. I'll post links in the description below to both of those to get updates on new Tasty Squad videos and whatever projects we're working on. Because we're 4 or 5 guys spread all throughout the U.S., so we're all doing different things at different times. So that's just a good way for you to see what we're all working on. And lastly, comment your thoughts below. I really want to know what you thought about this video. What are some things I can improve upon? What do you think about the new God of War? How did you feel? What do you want to see Santa Monica do with it? This is an analytical discussion I would love to discuss with whoever's watching this video. So please comment below. Let us know. Let Tasty Squad know. Love to hear back from you. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. And as always, stay tasty.